so what is wheel offset? So you found your way here because you're probably searching for what is wheel offset. We want to give you that answer. Okay, so offset is really very simple. It's the distance between the mounting pad of the wheel and the center line. What we're essentially looking at here are two things that we need to know. The first thing we need to know is how wide is that wheel? The second thing we need to know is where the center line of that wheel resides. Now, the reason we need to know the width is because essentially the center line is going to be exactly half of whatever that wheel width is. Now, one thing you should point out is that we are measuring wheel width from inside B to inside B, not outer edge to outer edge. Okay, so now that we know what the center line is, the next thing we need to know is what is the mounting pad. The mounting pad is the part of the wheel that's going to touch your vehicle's hub or the rotor surface where the wheel mounts to the car. So the reason we need to know the mounting pad location is because the offset by definition is just going to be the distance between that mounting pad of the wheel and the center line of the wheel. We measure those differences, that exactly is going to be the offset of the wheel that you're looking at. Now in this example, this is going to be the example of 35 millimeters offset, hence a 35 millimeter offset. So when you see ET35, this is what we're referring to. Now, one thing to note here, this is actually going in a positive direction, meaning that the mounting pad is offset toward the spokes of the wheel or toward the outbound side of the car. If we were to kind of look at this from a flip scenario, where the mounting pad is actually 35 millimeters offset to the negative side of the wheel or toward the inbound side of the car or the back of the wheel, this would be a negative 35. People get these confused all the time, and there is a big difference. I've heard the abbreviation used a few times already, ET, and you'll see that on a lot of different websites. Don't get too stuck on it. It's a German term, one that I can't really pronounce, and if we were going to take the interpretation of what it actually means, it means insertion depth. So essentially all we're talking about again is offset. So obviously looking at our website here, there's going to be multiple different ETs or different offsets, but what we're going to focus in on is, let's say, this ET of 35. Kind of going back to our example, this ET means that on this given width wheel, the mounting pad will be 35 millimeters offset in a positive direction. That means it's going to be 35 millimeters offset under the vehicle. All right, so let's summarize what we've learned here, and let's take a look at this example of this Mustang. This is an 18.8.5 and an ET55. Now watch what happens when we're going to use the same width wheel and we're going to go to an ET35, which is more in a negative direction. So this is an example of how easy offset really is, and when we watch this wheel move in an outbound direction, it's going to go just the 20 millimeters that we've changed the offset. So that's it. We brought you here that quickly. That's what offset is. Don't get it too confused. Don't traumatize it too much. It's not really worth it. ET is essentially just where the mounting pad moves in relation to the center line of the wheel, and that's all you need to know. How it fits a car is going to be something else, and we get into that in other videos. Make sure you check up one of these links here. Thanks for hanging out with us, and we'll catch you on the next one.